Plan 1. Between fake news and advertising, there are incestuous relations. It is the new scourge of the online press, social networks, and even the political world. Mass propaganda industrialized and robotized. Fake news abounds on the internet and is widely relayed by social networks. If we look only at the level of intentions, we know that different states, political parties, and pressure groups may have an interest in creating fake news to influence public opinion. It is thought as the world that we can classify this manipulation of information in what is commonly called soft power. This principle use agencies specializing in the creation of fake news. According to specialists, there are tens of thousands of sites producing false information in the world. These fake news are launched and relayed massively by their creators, helped by robots on social networks, mainly on Facebook and Twitter. Afterwards, it is the snowball effect, because many users, without even knowing that these are lies, relay them. As human beings, trust their relatives more than the media. Fake news from a dubious site relayed by a relative is always more credible than real news published by a known site. Plan 2. Fake news doesn't just divide our societies and influence our elections, it brings in a lot of money. According to a study by the NGO Global Disinformation Index carried out for the CNN channel, disinformation sites earn nearly 235 million a year in advertising revenue. This figure was obtained by scrutinizing more than 20,000 websites, which will only represent the tip of the iceberg. Advertising seems to become the nerve of the internet. Most websites are largely financed by online advertising, and the more audience, the more money they make. If real news is of little interest to these new medias, fake news represents a lot more engagement on Facebook. Fake news generates a lot of more traffic and therefore more income. It whets appetites all over the world, and some have made a lucrative business out of organized lying. For example, the sulfurous Paul Horner, an American master of fake news, who knows very well what information can become a real click magnet on the internet. For example, he sparked the commitment of nearly 1 million internet users by circulating an article which claimed that the Pope supported Donald Trump. This fake news maker earns between 5 and 10,000 a month in advertising revenue, thanks to its various sites specializing in hoaxes and fake news. Plan 3. Brands seem to become unwitting accomplices to the phenomenon. The money raised comes mainly from programmatic advertising devices that buy and serve ad pages on a website in real time. The system helps display messages that are more relevant to visitors and alone generates nearly 2/3 of industry revenue. The counterpart of such an operation is that brands do not really know where their ads are broadcast. According to the director of the NGO, the responsibility does not really lie with the brands, but with the advertising platforms that sell their broadcasting services. According to him, it will be enough for these platforms to be more transparent in the list of sites they feed to solve the problem. He thinks brands should be given the opportunity to choose, because if they could, they would choose not to feed this kind of content. Plan 4. Solutions provided. How to raise awareness and denounce this. Many initiatives are emerging to counter the spread of these serial lies. More and more advertisers want to reduce their investment in platforms that do not filter fake news, because they do not want to associate their brands with these sites, because the engagement of internet users on the advertisement of these sites is lower. Facebook, for its part, has posted and widely distributed a tutorial that explains the 10 rules to follow to detect fake news. Tutorial well done and easy to read and understand by all types of users. Automated tools are essential because journalists cannot continue to track down by hand all the fake news, produced by thousands of sites that often can earn much more than them producing and spreading lies. We must be able to produce independent and specialized fact-checking tools which use artificial intelligence, automatic language processing, and big data to identify fake news on a larger scale. Since 2016, a collective known as the Sleeping Giants has been alerting brands on Twitter when they are associated with misleading or hateful content. In France, a similar initiative was carried out on Boulevard Voltaire. Activist and social media expert Ben Decker says using Twitter as a platform for brand safety isn't a good long-term strategy. He thinks it does not reach many people or regulate these platforms that disseminate and monetize disinformation or hate speech. In 2017, the Sleeping Giant work on YouTube with hateful or pedophilic content cost YouTube around $750 million.